Eternals news, via Alex from Cosmic Circus. He does his Q&A stuff. And one of the things out there was Eternals 2. It was being developed, but has now been postponed since it's not a priority at the moment. I almost don't know if we need an Eternals 2. I wouldn't mind seeing the follow-up with Star Fox and Pip, and what happens to the team. But I also would rather see some of those characters in other projects. Like we know that Cersei at one point's an Avenger. We'd like to see what happens with Dane Whitman and slash Black Knight. Do we really want to see what happens with the rest of them? Kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are two pathways for them, right? Like we know Star-Lord is part Celestial and he's on Earth. So why not make a U-turn, go back to Earth, and bring him into an Eternals 2 movie, and then do that? Or, it seems like they're in space now. They're talking to Star Fox and Pip the Troll and everything, and it seems like they're getting ready to go after to try and free the Eternals that were taken by Arishem. So why not bring in the new Guardians of the Galaxy and bring them into the Eternals 2 movie and make it like a team-up movie between both, with Rocket leading the new Guardians or something, and you don't even have to bring Star-Lord into it. But it's just interesting because he's part Celestial, so you could do that if you wanted to.
Well, you could have a cameo from Star-Lord, and they could call it Eternal Guardians. There you go.
That would be cool. That'd be cool. That'd be awesome.
It's not Guardians of the Galaxy 4. It's not Eternals 2. It's Eternal Guardians. And basically, they're teaming up to save Phastos, Cersei, and Kingo. In which we have Pip the Troll, we have Star Fox, then we have Athena and Makari and Druid.
Yep.
As well. And then maybe they go to Star-Lord for just to kind of see, if he can help them. Maybe we see like Kingo's valet and Sprite find Star-Lord, like, hey, we know you're part Celestial. Can you give us any advice or how to communicate with your team? Somehow he gets in contact with the Guardians. The Guardians come in and swoop up the valet and Sprite, and they, a little scene there from Star-Lord. They go off, to find the rest of them, and there we go. I don't know. So.
And you got Star-Lord, Peter Quill's on Earth, right? He's hanging out with his grandfather, I believe it was.
Yep.
Like, he's older now. I'm not trying to sound terrible here, but let's imagine his grandfather passes. What's holding him to Earth anymore, right? Like, he came back to Earth to kind of like spend time with his grandfather, get to know him, get to kind of know a little bit about his family, get to kind of get back to a normal life. But like, let's imagine that his grandfather passes. I honestly think that could be one of those things where it's like, hey, let's get back in the saddle, let's get back off Earth and go out there and go do, more Star-Lord things. So.
He could also want to stay too, because he knows maybe he's like out the research and the impact of Ego's things on Earth. Maybe he's got other family in Missouri that he's wanting to meet and hang out with. That whole neighbor kid that he mentions, that could lead to something else too. So I don't think we need him for the entire movie. I think in the beginning to kind of, guidance or help communicate with the Guardians, that kind of stuff, and then he kind of just stays on Earth. He's like, I'll be here, or he finds some way where he can track like Arishem or whatever along with Star Fox. They communicate at times, but he doesn't need to be that focal point of that movie.
It'd be kind of cool if they did like a second. Let's pretend that the second movie's called Eternal Guardians, right? And the Guardians and the remaining Eternals are captured by Arishem at the end of that movie, and they lose. And like a beacon or something goes back to Earth, and it's like, hey, Sprite, go get Star-Lord. We need your help or something. Yeah, yes. Like we need his help. And then he leaves Earth because he's part Celestial, and like he can break whatever Arishem's doing or something because he's got the light inside of him, the spark. I hate that they did all that with Ego being a Celestial, but I mean, at this point, let's use it in the MCU. Why not? So.
I actually like that idea better. Make it a post-credit scene to get him into the next movie. That type of thing. Not have Sprite involved at all, or Star-Lord not until a post-credit scene. And just have it focused on the Guardians in space. Because maybe Star Fox, like, I know people that can help us, and they find the new Guardians, they go to Nowhere, wherever the new base is. Because, Nowhere was still there. There was a lot of damage there, but Nowhere was still there.
Yeah,
Go
I mean,
nowhere. Yeah.
Nowhere's basically become kind of like the home for everybody that doesn't have one. Like
Yeah.
all the beings from that one world were then brought from the High Evolutionary were then brought to Nowhere,
So
and
that's what what's her name was stopped or stayed there to run.
Nebula.
No, Gamora.
Oh,
No, Gamora's off with the Ravagers. Yeah, Nebula.
yeah,
Nebula's dead.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. So
Yeah, and then we get more
yeah.
Gamora too because they can pull the Ravagers in to help out too as well. You know,
Mhm.
they have a whole team up. So yeah, I like that better.
Yeah, be cool.